If you feel like you don't know which way to go, there's nothing wrong with you. If you tried different types of tools and it worked for other people, it didn't work for you, it's nothing wrong with you. If you've been using one tool or one way, you've been practicing one way of living and it's been helpful and it worked for many years, but it stopped working, there's nothing wrong with you. Since my spiritual awakening, I have been through an array of different experiences, emotions, feelings, some more intense periods of time, and some more easeful periods of time. It's never linear, it's never straightforward, and it doesn't feel like it has a super clear beginning or it has a super clear ending. But throughout my journey, what I learned is that there is no one magical tool or process that just takes it all away. Sometimes we need to lean more into surrender. That's a very big one for me personally. Sometimes we need to lean more into spiritual warrior energy. Sometimes we want to lean into service, and instead of focusing so much on ourselves, focusing on giving and serving. There is no one magical formula of which way you should go at all times. There are some patterns, there are some common ways, processes that people go and help themselves. And this is why it's good that there's so many different teachers out there, so many different tools and courses and programs and theories. The only thing I don't love out there is when people say, this is the tool that's going to take it all away. This is it. This is the only way. I don't believe in that. You are complex being, and there is no one pathway that is exactly same to another one. There's some similarities, commonalities, but you are so unique. And this is why I believe that the key is learning how to tune to yourself and read your body signals, how to attune to your intuition, how to get back to your inner wisdom, and how to relax. So allowing is really a big one. Allowing is really a big one. But there is also a catch. There's some people out there that just take it and use it as a form of escapism. So you have to be very aware. Is this my ego or is this truly my soul and my higher self? Am I totally just going one way in life? Have I been kind of stagnant in my life and not much is moving or changing? That might be a signal. Because life is always changing and we are always changing. So are you in stagnation? That could give you an idea that maybe your way of allowing surrendering is not actually allowing surrendering. People who are very much in spiritual warrior archetype, I can very much relate. For those, we need to relax more. And again, there is not one way of doing it. It's not necessarily that this is just one thing you need to do, you relax and that's it. No, there's going to be times that the spiritual warrior is helpful. The one that is researching and doing and digging is helpful. But if you have been doing so much research and watching so many videos and trying so many different things and you're so exhausted, maybe it's a sign for you to lean more into surrender. And for those who are suffering because they're focused so much on themselves and they don't see other people anymore. They feel very disconnected. Maybe leaning into service could be a good idea. So tune into your inner wisdom and your inner guidance. What feels the most expansive to you? Not necessarily what feels the most good. What feels good to ego is very different what feels good to your soul. And so this might take a little bit of time to be able to tell the difference, and that's okay. Try, experiment, tune it into it. If you truly want to be honest with yourself, you will find the way. You will find the right pathway. Your body will show you. I'm feeling it would be good to touch on shame. Shame is such a big theme and factor, especially in spiritual community, as bringing perfectionism in spirituality, which kind of defeats the purpose of spirituality. It's not true spirituality if you come into spirituality with this I need to achieve type of attitude. So what happens if you come with that attitude? I need to achieve, I need to make sure I'm like this, not like that, and this is what spiritual people do, and this is what spiritual people don't do. And I thought I was over it. I thought I was done with all of this. And now again, these emotions are presenting so much shame. Many are stuck in cycles of shame. And so antidote to shame is self-compassion. And many would say, well, I'm practicing self-compassion, I'm practicing love, but do you really? Saying affirmations that I love myself, or I don't know, practicing a lot of self-care, not necessarily is self-love and compassion. Self-love and compassion is when you welcome all parts of yourself, you welcome all expressions of self, when you forgive yourself, when you relax, when you stop demanding more of yourself, when you stop saying to yourself that you should do better, you should do more. You might not be able to completely erase all the thoughts that are saying that, but you can reach a point when you don't buy into those thoughts. You see, sometimes we can't really control the thoughts, if ever. There's a collective field. Some of you might hear other people's thoughts. Of course, there are some programs that we have running for years. But when you truly love yourself, you don't buy into those thoughts that say you're not good enough, you're not there, you need to do better, more, you need to do more practice, even saying you need to do more meditation. This very subtle way how this perfectionism gets in and shame running in the background. Shame has become so big in our lives that we can't even tell that we feel shame because it's such a just normal background energy. And I discovered that in one of my healing sessions and family constellations, soul constellations, where I was tuning into shame and it didn't feel like it's anything because it was just such a normal part of the everyday life. So be aware of shame. Be aware of how you're shaming yourself because that just keeps you in cycles. So hopefully this was helpful to you, reassuring to you that if you feel like you don't know which way to go, there's nothing wrong with you. If you tried different types of tools and it worked for other people, it didn't work for you, there's nothing wrong with you. If you've been using one tool or one way, you've been practicing one way of living and it's been helpful and it worked for many years, but it stopped working, there's nothing wrong with you. Because life is more complex than that, because you are more complex than that. Not in a negative way, in a beautiful way. Life is ever changing. You are ever changing. And one thing that's constant is the tool that's always helps me is self-compassion. So coming back to that heart-centered energy, welcoming all parts of yourself, all your emotions, all your expressions, all your pains and aches, welcoming and loving and sending so much compassion to yourself and all parts of you. You don't have to figure it all out. That's not the game. Can you love yourself? That is the question. Can you love yourself in all phases of life, in all different types of situations, in all different types of emotions, feelings? Can you love yourself when you so-called failing, when you're tired, when you're fatigued, when you're feeling lost? Can you love yourself just a little bit more? I love you. Much love to you. Blessings.